Hey, how's everyone doing today? Good. Well, I want to start off by telling you a story about my best friend. I want to introduce you to Alex. Now, I met Alex in the 7th grade for the first time when I moved to Texas. Alex and I were best friends, but a lot of people thought of us as polar opposites of each other. Alex was this astute individual with the mind of Albert Einstein himself. And then, there was me. But in all seriousness, Alex was on top of his intellectual game, to the point where my friends were paying Alex for him to do their homework. Alex loved this success. He was boosting his street cred by helping all these new people. He was getting money from this lucrative homework side hustle. And most importantly, Alex was working towards his goal. And that goal was to get into a top-tier school one day. But that was until tragedy had struck. See, the problem with Alex was that the fear from getting in trouble with the teachers, the people who Alex had helped, had thrown Alex under the bus. The problem was that he was cognizant. He was so cognizant, in fact, he was cognizant of people taking advantage of him. And he reformed his ways. But recently, ladies and gentlemen, there's been an Alex in all of our lives. And this Alex isn't as cognizant as I'd like it to be. So, you may have heard of the infamous ChatGPT recently. And a lot like the first time when Apple and Microsoft first came out and revolutionized the computing industry with the introduction of the .NET softwares and the iPhone, this is another monumental change in technology. Now, for those of you who share the same ideas about the dangers of AI, recently on the infamous app TikTok, there's been a lot of memes concerning AI-generated skits. Now, I see a lot of you laughing. Now, these skits include our current and former presidents, like Mr. Joe Biden himself, all coming together to play a game of video games. Now, as hilarious as this may seem, there's a lot of negative implications to this type of video. First of all is manipulation of voice. If AI is able to manipulate people's voice in such a strange way, think about defamation. It could lead to defamation of innocent celebrities who say things which, they never would have actually said. Then if we move on to world leaders, the more prominent issue. If AI can make these people in power say things that they would have never said, this can lead to national threat security issues. Now, AI isn't just prominent in short-form content. AI is especially prominent in sound. Recently, it's not actually very looked over, but recently AI has been very prominent in music. Despite the people you love to listen to, we have people like Michael Jackson and Tupac, and the more recent creators like Drake and The Weeknd. These people are what convey the language of love, music. Now, despite this, the issue raised the question is the effects of AI replicating the music and selling it at a large volume. Now, there's two main issues with this. Companies can capitalize off of these issues and generate music without actually paying these artists. And what I think the main issue is waste of talent. These people come up every single day, especially in the music industry, who have a lot of talent. But if everyone abuses the manipulation of AI, well, they're never going to be seen. Well, I've been talking a lot about the negative implications of AI. But what if I told you that there was a silver lining to all of this? In fact, I worked with ChatGPT to make my whole TED Talk. I did the very thing that I was preaching against. Or did I? See, to prove my hypothesis today, I did the one thing that I want all of you to do. I want to use ChatGPT in a way where we have a conversation. That's quite literally what I did. I asked it, hey, what words would seem culturally appropriate to say, and what would be efficient to say to keep everyone's focus on me? And make sure that just add some jokes in the middle, so people laugh. Now, I'm not the only person doing this. Recently, a girl in North Virginia is making strides by using ChatGPT to her advantage in a good way. She recently won the Science Olympiad. Now, she won $175,000 for studying a prominent issue. And all she did was have a conversation with AI. She said, and I quote, "I studied with AI in a way which no actual human could give me a perspective upon. I talked to it, and I learned from it." Now, recently, I've been talking a lot about the negative implications, but the most vital thing that a lot of people look into when looking into AI is education, especially with Mr. Sal Khan, who recently just came and did his own TED Talk, and he introduced Khanmigo. So Khanmigo is this AI tutor which works with students and teachers to both facilitate both sides of learning. It helps students by learning and giving them a chance to learn at their own pace. So people who are ahead of the margin get a challenge. And people like me, who need a bit more of help, can use AI. Now, when we go into the side of the teachers, AI can create study schedules for every single student in a way in which it's customized. And that's just a simple way of looking at it. If you look more into the tests, the SAT is going digital. Now, for those of you who dread the SAT like me, we all know this. But it isn't just words on paper going onto a screen, it comes with adaptive learning. Now, adaptive learning is this way, where every time you answer a hard question and you get it right, harder questions keep coming. Now, this helps students make progress despite their educational level, and they're all weighted differently as well. So now I've been talking a lot about education, but the one thing that all students love more than studying is food. Especially at our high school. Every single Wednesday at our high school, we're known for the infamous Chipotle Bowl Wednesdays, as we students love to call it. Every Wednesday, the pinnacle of school lunch is served right here. Now, wouldn't it be so much more convenient for us to order months or days in advance and just pay it off? And that this would help students and teachers as well, because this way, the school district doesn't have to waste money by ordering so much excess food, and this way, they obviously save some money. Now, I didn't just want to make this TED Talk all about, talk. I wanted to implement some of this into my own life. So recently this year, I took part in the AP Psychology test. So what I did was I created the 3-3 rule. I used ChatGPT, and I created the 3-3 rule, which means 3 parameters in 3 minutes. I gave ChatGPT 3 parameters. Number 1, ChatGPT, I asked it, do you have access to my AP Psychology course transcription? And the good thing about it is it's made by humans, for humans, which means it has access to every single public database you could think of. So of course, it said yes. So I moved on next. I said, hey, can you make a table for me, a 7-week learning table, right before May 2nd, where my test was? It said, yeah, of course. And now the most unique part of ChatGPT is what I like to call unit specification. A lot of people in AP Psychology struggle with the mind and personality, which were the hardest units in my opinion as well. So I told ChatGPT, and it made this whole list for me in 3 minutes, the 3-3 rule. And not only did it make this list for me, it gave me references and resources, such as practice multiple tests, and also other things like get enough sleep, get food, and just stay good. Now, this isn't where it stops. My idea goes even further. Why don't we help these kids who want to pursue a career in data science and help them implement this into our own school? This is going to boost their ideas of if they really want to get into a career or not, and helps the school because they pay less. Now, next time your friend says, oh, I'll just chat GPT it, let them know that my friend Alex is watching. Thank you.